Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Dorian Show. My name is Dorian Trong, and today I am your captain. I believe this is episode number 6. Who knew I could do something 6 times? I sure didn't, but here I am. I just want to shout out to everybody that's listening to this on YouTube or in any podcast platforms. Thank you for sticking with me through all 6 episodes. If you're listening on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe to the videos. About 80% of viewers are not subscribers right now, so please subscribe. It'll help out the algorithm and get more people to listen to me ramble. And I just want to once again thank you to all the people listening to me on the podcast platforms that are international. You know what I mean? I really appreciate it, even though I think it's like one person from each country. But there are a lot of countries out there, so thank you once again. So let's just jump into this. Today I want to talk about basically risk management in investments. Because right now I'm getting hammered in the stock market, especially Alibaba. These past 2 years during the pandemic, it really kicked me in the ass. And I just want to talk to you guys how I'm going to go through this tough period of time. And hopefully I'll be able to come on the other side with, some monies with the bag, as they say on the streets. And also how I'm going to be able to manage the risks so I kind of protect myself from losing too much money in the event that the worst case happens. All right. So yeah, let's do this. So basically, if you don't know, so I'm going to start. I'm basically, excuse me, don't even know how to talk. What I'm trying to say is, today I'm going to focus on the stock Alibaba because it's hit me the most. And it's one of the most dramatic changes within the past 2 years. Right before the pandemic, it was my best performing stock. And since then, I'm losing a ton of money in it. And I'm trying to tell you guys how I'm going to come up with a plan to kind of protect me from any downside risk, like too much risk on the downside, and but put me in a position to make some good money if it ever rebounds, which I think it will. All right, so just a little background on who Alibaba is, what the company is. I mean, it's basically one of the biggest publicly traded companies in China. They're basically a conglomerate at this point. They started out as like the eBay of China, and then they got into cloud computing and gaming and all these other things. They had a big stake, like 33% in a financial company and financial, and they were going to have a ton of money in their future. They were going to be probably one of the biggest companies in the world, to be honest with you. But because they are also in China, the Chinese government, unlike the American government, can basically do whatever the fuck they want. And that was always a risk. But I guess the founder and president, he's no longer CEO of Alibaba, but Jack Ma, probably, he's like the Bill Gates of China. He got too used to the Western lifestyle and started mouthing off about the Chinese government. And that's when it all started. Just on a tangent, like, people don't know how good it is to live in the U.S. Like, you just talk shit about the president and the governor and the mayor and basically anybody, and you can just get away with it. It's part of what makes being an American great. You know what I mean? A lot of people complain about how the country is divided, but that's actually a part of having free speech. Like, people argue all the time. It might not all be productive. A lot of it is super funny, you know what I mean? But that right does not extend across our borders into other countries. So basically, what Jack Ma did was he was just talking shit about the Chinese government, saying they are behind and antiquated in terms of business and finance. And then to get back at him, they basically shut down the IPO of Ant Group. So Ant Group is the financial company that Alibaba had a 33% ownership of, and they were going to go public, meaning people would start trading shares of it. And it was going to be the biggest financial company ever, not in China, but like in the world, biggest financial company ever. And because of Jack Ma, the day before they were able to IPO, like the government, China was just like, nah, you guys are not going to IPO. Shut that shit down immediately. And then they decided to, like the following couple of days, they decided to change up the whole business of Ant Financial. They basically say like now it's going to be a joint business with the government, and they're limiting all these business practices Ant Financial could do. So basically, just wiped out like billions and billions of dollars of value in a company overnight just because the government said so. That's insane. And that was just the beginning of the issues with Alibaba. This is like almost a year ago, I think. Soon after that, Xi Jinping, the great leader of China, just started going ham on all these Chinese businesses, you know. He said Alibaba and all these other companies can't practice doing these anti-competitive practices, forcing them to allow people to link to their competitors, which I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's crazy that the government just comes in and says, that's it. You know, I get it when we have Google, and Google is like, they dominate search, so they send all their search to their websites, which you could say is like anti-competitive, but like you don't see Walmart linking stuff to Target. That's kind of dumb, basically. So, but they're making Alibaba and all these companies do it. So, you know, just their competitive advantage got cut, and all this is just taking billions and billions of dollars off of valuation. And this is happening like day after day, day after day. And I'm just getting like slammed, right? I'm just getting kicked in the balls day after day, day after day. Not literally, but you know, by the Chinese government just kicking me in the nuts. What else did they do? And then China started going after other businesses. So if you guys don't, I mean, you guys know the stereotype that Asian kids, Chinese kids do really well in school. Some people think it's a God-given talent, but it's not. It's the culture. They really value education. And in China, there was like a huge business boom on tutoring, right? Like billions and billions of dollars in business surrounding on tutoring. And overnight, Xi Jinping, the great president of China, huge fan, by the way, was like, all right, you guys are all nonprofits now. Like overnight, from multi-billion-dollar companies to like, you guys are now nonprofits. No more making money. And you know what they did? They just complied, and they thanked the president. They're like, thank you for letting us this, giving us this opportunity. And while he's saying this, like one of the CEOs of the business was like crying in tears because it's hard work, because his life's work just got destroyed overnight. And that's kind of one of the risks I want to talk about on investing overseas, and especially in China, where the government has ultimate say, and there's really no rights for businesses or individuals. Right after Jack Ma talked shit about the government, he disappeared for like months, and some people thought he died. But he has since, resurfaced, but he hasn't said anything crazy in a long time, you know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like you're only out here because the government's letting your face be seen, which is kind of scary. Scary for him and also scary for my pockets. Okay. And that is just a risk with the Chinese government. There's also a risk here with the U.S. Now, there's U.S. tension between China, as we know. Just the government, not businesses. The businesses like love bowing down to China. If you haven't seen who's that wrestler? What's his name? Shit, I can't even think of his name right now. I'm gonna look it up real quick. What's his name? You know, the wrestler, he's like, you can't see me. What's his name? John Cena. Holy shit. There's like videos of John Cena apologizing in Mandarin to China for like mistakenly saying Taiwan is their own country. It's ridiculous. And then we got, of course, like whole NBA bowing down to China while China's over there like enslaving Chinese Muslims, the Uyghurs, making them like forced labor, harvesting their organs, and allegedly, and you know, making them infertile, which is like crazy allegations. And of course, the NBA and Nike and all these other companies just bow down and pretend like it doesn't exist, while they're like all about social justice, but when it comes to their pocketbooks, they don't really give a fuck. So they only support social justice when they can monetize it, right? When they could use it as part of their campaign to help their bottom line. I don't know why my audio is cutting in and out. Let's see. I hope this is not fucked up. Anyway. So yeah, and then due to the pandemic, recently they lost a bunch of money. They missed earnings by like 10%. Their guidance for the future revenue is going to be a lot lower. So there's all these negative news about Alibaba. And just to be honest with you, I invested. I don't know if it's a lot of money for you guys, but to me, it's a lot of money. I invested probably like $16,000 on Alibaba stock. Just to be honest with you guys, no reason to lie about my financial situation. And so I invested like $16,000, and the value of those stocks dropped $7,000. You know what I mean? So that's almost half of like my money just gone. And yeah, it's just been a pretty bad year. And I should have said this in the beginning. Like, if you guys, I'm not telling anyone to buy Alibaba. It's really risky at this point. But I personally see value in it, so I am going to keep buying as it keeps going lower. But I'm going to set up a way and set up parameters so I don't get killed and slaughtered and end up losing all my money. I mean, honestly, the smart thing to do for anyone listening to this point, I should start this in the beginning, is if you want to invest in stocks, probably the safest way is just to invest in an index fund like the S&P 500, because it's basically you buy that one stock and you own like all 500 companies in the S&P, and that's diversity. So if like one or two stocks get crushed, like it won't affect the value of your whole portfolio, which I'm facing right now. Like I only own probably like a handful of stocks, like maybe like 10 stocks. And even then I feel like I have too much because I'm a gambler and a degenerate. And just the last month, like everything's getting hammered. Like Alibaba's been getting kicked in the nuts the past 2 years. And just this past month, like Disney got hit real hard. Visa got hit so hard. And that's like 3 out of my 10 holdings, right? And I have other stocks that aren't doing well too, but they weren't. They've been kind of stable. So like just in a month, like 3 stocks was cut a huge, took out a lot of value in my portfolio. And it's kind of scary if, you're not used to this. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I don't know. I feel nothing when I see the value of what I have go down, which emotionally, I'm just like, all right, whatever. I don't feel anything, but like mentally it's worrisome because I know like I could potentially lose a lot of money if I'm not careful with what I'm doing. And that's the next part I kind of want to talk about is risk management. So the last thing I don't want to do is because I think, sorry, cough. Don't worry, not COVID. I mean, I don't know, but I'm vaccinated. The last thing I want is to continue throwing money into the stock without any plan, just because I think it will go up. In truth, it might not come back up. It might. At the worst that can happen is it goes to zero and I lose what I invested in, which is, like I said, $16,000. which to some people are probably a lot of money, and for other people is a penny in a bucket. Is that the saying? Drop in a bucket, I mean. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a lot for anybody, but I just want to let you guys know how much I invested. But I have a tendency where I'm like, this is such a great value. I'm gonna just put like more thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in it. And then before I know it, like what if that $16 investment becomes $40,000 investment, and Alibaba does go to zero? I would be out of $40,000. I'm not saying I have that right now, but I'm just saying it's possible with like my lack of emotion and my recklessness when it comes to like buying stocks. Like it could really bite me in the ass if I'm not careful. So I'm going to set up a few goals for myself to basically minimize my risk, but also keep my exposure in Alibaba and all these other stocks that I feel like going to rebound. The first thing I want to do is this year I started buying index funds as a way to hedge and to minimize risk for me. I mean, it's not even a complete hedge, but just to keep me more diversified. So my first goal was to buy the S&P index fund. I think if you're going to get the traded fund, I think it's Spider SPY. And then if you wanted to get like the index, it's I forget, but it's on Vanguard. You can look it up, and that's a little bit harder to trade. The index funds, you can trade only like at the end of the day, but the Spider you could trade during the day as like a regular stock. So whatever you guys wish, but it doesn't really matter if it's going to be long term. I hold them both. Anyway, so my first goal is to buy an index fund and not have any single stock position be worth more than my index. You know what I mean? So if I have $16,000 invested into Alibaba, like my holding in the index fund needs to be more than that. So it has to be like $16,000 or $17,000 more than index fund. Just because I'm forced to allocate money into that if I want to buy more into, let's say, Alibaba. That's my number one goal. And to tell you the truth, I'm failing right now because some of the values of my stock has jumped way up. For example, my Facebook holding is killing it right now, even though they got hammered maybe last month for a little while. They're killing it. So I have the value of my Facebook holding is way higher than my holding in the SPY fund. So I need to start aggressively putting more into the index fund if I want to stick to this plan. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I could easily just start putting all my money into Alibaba. And that might be detrimental to me in the long run. But if I'm forced to keep my investments in Alibaba at or lower than index funds, it forces me to invest in the index funds at the same time. If that makes sense or not, let me know in the comments. But I think it makes sense. And then the second thing I'm going to do is to control my buying. So I set notifications for stocks. So for Alibaba, I set a notification on my phone that I'm only going to buy if it drops 10% from my last entry point. And that's the only time I'll buy. Because a lot of times in the past, I've seen myself like buying like a lot, like I would buy a stock maybe like 4 to 5 times within a span of like a week and a half. Because I'll see that, they dropped 1%. Oh, that's a good buy. They dropped 2%. Oh, that's a good buy. And then like you could really run out of money really fast in investments. And something like Alibaba like swings so much, like I could end up putting in a lot of money that I don't have and I don't want to lose. But this way, if I say like, okay, if it drops, so the last time I bought it, I don't remember, $144, I think. It already dropped from there, so I'll set it. If it drops 10% from 144, I'll allow myself to maybe buy like $1,000 worth of Alibaba. And if it drops 10% from there, I'll put in another $1,000. And this way it'll limit my exposure, so I don't need to be dumping too much cash that I might not be able to afford or I'll regret later. And this also protects me from the upside, right? I also learned just from investing in over, I don't know how old I'm, like 33, so probably like over 10 years now, that in the past when the stock market or a stock like drops, and it drops such a significant price, like I just don't want to look at it. And then because I would be down so much money. I'm just like, I can't even look at the market right now. Like, it makes me feel sick. This is when I was younger. I don't feel anything anymore. But then, like, before you know it, like maybe a year passed, like the stock has gone back up and maybe even like higher than when I bought in. And I had a lot of opportunities while I was going down to buy in that I missed out on. You know what I mean? Like, so if I bought something at $10 and went down to $5, if I bought some back there and when it comes back up, that's just extra earnings that I'm leaving on the table. I'm not saying this happens all the time, but every stock that I've sold in my life has gone. That's not true. Most of the stocks I've sold in my life has gone even higher than before. So that's just history. It doesn't determine the future. And it's not true for all cases. Like, I sold Boeing at the all-time highs a couple of years ago, and right now it's hurting pretty badly because of the crashes and stuff. But I think that one day they'll get back up there too. But that doesn't matter right now. But yeah, so that's what I want to talk about in terms of my investment and how to manage the risk. I hope that wasn't too boring for you guys. For people listening, I think Alibaba would be fine in probably like 2 years. It was worth like $300 just a couple of years ago, and they said that was cheap. And now it's at 144 and it's still going down. And I get it, like with all the drama with the country China, the issues, inflation, the growth rate in China, like everything plays a role. But the business of Alibaba is good. And how I think about it is the business going to disappear? And it really is not. It's going to hurt too many people if the business disappears. It'll hurt all the people working at Alibaba, all the businesses, Chinese businesses that are partnering with them, all the employees that work for Alibaba, all the shareholders of Alibaba. Like, if China just got rid of that, it'll cause a lot of people, especially in the middle class in China, to lose money. And I think they're trying to grow their economy, and it's everyone's best interest not to, destroy one of the best companies in their country. So I think it should be fine. No guarantees. I'm not even telling people to buy any Alibaba right now because it's super risky. But for me personally, I think the risk is worth it. I think I can make some money on the way back up. And in the long term, I feel like Alibaba is something I'll hold for the rest of my life. So I'm ready to lose 16,000 plus a couple thousands. But if I follow my rule of only buying 10%, only buying $1,000 worth every 10% drop, then I should be all right. So what's been going on in my comedy life? Let me tell you, it's hard, man. Everything in life is hard, and I feel, and this is a theme that's coming up. I really have, I have no discipline at all, and I think it is certainly a lot of people have to deal with this too, like instant gratification, and it's just hard. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get new jokes or better jokes without writing, without putting in effort outside of stage time, to make yourself better. And that's rough. It's been really rough for me to write. Like, I don't feel motivated. My friends said I'm not inspired, which is true. It's hard to get inspiration. I'm just missing a lot of hard work that I should be applying myself. But you know what really like woke me up? There's this young comedian open micer that I on doing the mics with. He's like 10 years younger than me, I think. More than that. I think he's 22 years old or 21, still in college. And I haven't seen a set maybe in like 2 weeks. And he does mics all over the place. And then I saw him recently a couple days ago, and he has some new material, and they were really good. And he got way better than just like the last time I saw him. And I was like, oh shit. if I don't like work hard at this, like the people are going to pass me up. People I start with are going to pass me up, and they're going to leave me behind. And I'm not saying like that's not going to happen anyways, but it's there's a lack of effort on my part. So I wrote a couple of jokes because of that. So I found inspiration in that, in people doing well, which is good. I could always just get jealous, which is a terrible way to make yourself get better. But being inspired by other people's successes is good. Yeah. So that's him. And then a couple of my comedian friends that I recently met, they were able to hop on some shows, which are cool. Like these are real shows with a real audience, which is what everybody wants, because people don't know your jokes and they're there to see you. They're there to have good fun, good time, so they're able to react to what you're saying better than like having comics go there and they all know your jokes. No one laughs. They only care about themselves. So that's cool. Having seeing my friends do that, being able to go there and support them. It kind of sucks. I don't know if they got paid or not. They were going to pay with tip money, and I don't know if people left tips. And if they did leave tips, I'm not sure if the guy paid them out. But I'm sure they did. So that's what I'm doing too. Seeing them get on shows, I'm like, there's like a Facebook group with all the comedians hosting these shows, and I'm basically out there like, oh, pick me. I like to perform. Please, can I be on your show? And I'm really bad at that. I'm really bad at networking. I'd rather talk into a mic than go out there and network with people I don't know. I guess you could say I'm an introvert. But it's hard, it's hard to put myself out there. After that one guy rejected me, said I wasn't ready, I was just like, this is complete bullshit. Like, I can't be doing this anymore. But seeing my friends being able to get on shows just for asking people that have shows available. And people like advertise this. They're like, hey, I have a show. Tell me about yourself. Send me some clips. I'll put you on. So I'm starting to do that too myself, and it's just a little demoralizing. And there's like one post, and there's like 80 people messaging this guy. Oh, please put me on your show, please. Oh, please, I'll do anything. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. At the end of the day, I feel like I just need to put on my own show. I know I've talked about this before, but my idea is to maybe get like 25, 30 minutes of material. It's not going to be great, but it's going to be okay, and get a couple of my friends that do comedy to be in the show with me. Together we could get like an hour show or an hour 15 show. Invite all my friends, and they'll come, make them pay one time, and they'll never want to talk to me again, so I could pay the other comics in the venue. I think that's the way to do it, but it's easier said than done. Like, I probably have less than 10 minutes of material right now that I even like. Getting 30 minutes is really hard, especially if I'm not inspired and I'm not working hard on the writing, So I really got to get to it. And the only way to get the 30 minutes is actually sit my ass down and write. So, yeah, I don't know who's listening to this, but if you guys do creative stuff that needs basically time to work on, if you're a writer, I hope this helps you. Everybody's going through the same thing. And maybe if you're writing, let me know what projects you guys are working on, like comments below, or you could just text me on Instagram or whatnot. And, we can inspire each other. So what else is going on? Yeah, working out at the gym. I'm lazy, dude. In the beginning, the first month, I was going like 4 times a week, even maybe 5 times a week to the MMA gym. But this past week, I only went 3 times. I was going to go today in the morning, but, I decided to give myself an excuse and shoot a podcast. Many hours later, after the gym closed, by the way, so I could have just totally went to the gym, came back, shot this podcast. But yeah, it's rough. It's just rough getting myself to get up there. It's not exactly hard either. Like jujitsu is kind of rough, grappling with people that are better than me, but it's not. I probably need to put more effort into that. I'm not exactly super tired after every workout, you know. I mean, sometimes I'm sore after like they're doing all these like punching and kicking drills, and they're like, all right, let's do like 50 push-ups. Then I guess I'm sore that way, but it's not. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm getting stronger. I mean, I think I'm getting better actually at technique just by being there and practicing, but I don't feel like, you know, when you go to the gym and you just lift weights, you could see yourself getting stronger. You know, you can see progress. And I think a lot of that has to do with probably like weight loss and body, I don't know what they say, like when you're building your body. I can't even talk right now. I don't see a lot of that in the MMA is what I'm saying. I'm gaining weight like a fucking fatso here because I'm just eating snacks all day. And it's hard. It's hard. And I don't think I'm getting stronger, so that's the other thing too. I think in my mindset, my weird bro mindset, like I feel like I need to get stronger. And at the gym, at the MMA gym, I might not be getting stronger. I mean, I'm getting skills, you know, maybe punches and kicks and jiu-jitsu grappling, but in terms of strength, I don't know if I'm getting strength. I'm a little worried that I'm losing my strength. I'm getting fatter when everybody's losing weight when they join an MMA gym. It's rough, man. I need to get my diet back together, but who knows when I'll start doing that. I just need to put my mind to it and get started. What I've figured out with like weight loss goals is once you get started, it's easy. You know what I mean? Once you lose the first 10 pounds, the second 10 is easier than the first 10. Of course, it gets harder to lose weight as you're getting thinner, but like in the way you live your life and the lifestyle gets easier. And same thing with like weight gain. I eat bad one day, and then I do another day of bad eating, and it's really easy to bleed into the next. And before you know, I'll be 300 pounds, and on that show, 300-pound sisters, or 600-pound sisters. It's crazy, guys. All right, I guess this is another shorter episode, 30-some minutes. You know, I just want to thank everybody for sticking with me. Thank you for listening on YouTube. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Please subscribe to my audio podcast if you guys like to listen to me instead of watching my dumb face. Just from the eyes and to the eyebrows, by the way, because my mouth is covered by the mic. But yeah, subscribe, guys. I love you all. Please make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. I really want to, you know, interact with people that actually listen to it. I have no idea who's listening to it. I know a couple of my friends are, but I'm not sure which friends are. So please leave a comment. You guys can message me on Instagram as well. If you have my number, you can text me. But I'm talking about new listeners. Message me on Instagram. Yeah, I'll love to read your comments and your questions. Maybe I can answer it or talk about it. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for listening. Love you all. Love you all. Peace out. And I hope we all get rich together. Deuces.